Hi guys. So today I'm doing the most amazing sponsorship I have ever done. And that's because of something that happened 6 years ago.
Okay, now that I finally saved up for a camera, I need to post my pictures somewhere. But if I post them on Instagram and they only get like 3 likes, that's kind of embarrassing. So yeah, might just make a website where nobody can like or dislike my posts. So I can just, be creative in peace with no judgment.
So yeah, 14-year-old me built a website. Now 14-year-old me actually chickened out of publishing that website, so it took 15-year-old me to do it. But yeah, I made that entire website with Wix. It was the first website I've ever built, and honestly I'm still pretty proud of myself for doing that. And when a few years later I decided to make another website where I would write about law, then I also made that one with Wix. And my first website is actually my main website, so my blog, and it's still up. It's also still hosted by Wix, and yeah, I use Wix a lot. So the fact that this company is sponsoring this video is kind of crazy, but I'm very, very happy about it. And yeah, today I'm going to show you guys how you can make a website with Wix, and I thought I would design my blog from scratch. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently and just design it as I would do if I were to start that blog today. Because I made it when I was 14 and I think I did a pretty good job for a 14-year-old who never designed a website before. But I think today I'll probably do some things differently. Or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe this will not turn out well. We'll see.
And here we are in my dashboard at Wix. So you can see my 2 websites there, but we're going to go ahead and create a new one. And you can choose pretty much anything for which you could possibly create a website, but we're going to go for our blog. But depending on what you pick, it's going to give you some customized templates. So you can see there is a ton of templates where there's already some content on there, which are stock images from Wix, so you can also use them. But we're going to go for an empty template, which doesn't have any content like images or anything in it, but some of them have placeholders. Or you can go with, do everything from scratch, which is pretty much an empty website and you add everything to it yourself.
So I'm going to be real brave today and I'm going to choose start from scratch. It's probably one of the most difficult ways you can do this, but I think it's also one of the easiest ways to get very creative because you have nothing, given to you as a template. So you literally pick everything about your website, which is exactly what I want to do. So yeah. Let's do it.
And here we have our empty canvas in the Wix editor, and on the side you have all the things that you could possibly need. So right now we are in the menus and pages section, and we're going to make sure that we add some pages to our website. So pages are the sections of your website. So for example, a section for your newsletter, a section for your blog, things like that. So you just add some pages. They're all going to be empty for now, but that's no problem. It just provides you with some structure so that you know what you're going to have to work through and where you're going to have to add some things. And then you can just pick a design for the menu and just pull that onto your empty canvas, because you want to make sure that when your visitors visit your website, they can also click the different items on your menu so that they can navigate through your website. I would always recommend putting the menu in your header, because the header and the footer are 2 things about your website that will be visible whichever page the visitor is on. So these are the 2 places where you want to put any important information that's relevant on any page. And then you can customize the menu design however you want. Personally, I wasn't into the colors that the design provided, so I just changed them to some more neutral colors that I personally liked a little bit better. And then you can just adjust pretty much anything about it, the size, all of that, and yeah, then you're ready to add some other things. So here I added my blog because, I write largely just blog posts on my website. And then you can change the design about that, how the blogs are displayed, what information is displayed. Pretty much everything is very customizable. So you just change it to whatever you like it to be. And the posts that you can see there right now are just posts that Wix has there, so you can see what the design looks like, but we're gonna have to add our own content later, of course. Then we're ready to move on to the next page, because at this point we're just providing structure to the website. We're not adding any content. So next I moved on to the about page, and there I literally just added a text field, and that was it. Because I don't really have an about text ready yet. I just need to know what I need to do on that page later on. So we're just giving it really the most basic structure. And then I moved on to a page where I don't really want to do anything, because I just put in a link to my channel and that's it. So yeah, you can create menu items that don't link to actual pages on your website, but just to another website, which I did here because when people click videos, I just want them to go to my channel because that's where all my videos are. And then it was time to link my newsletter. So I just quickly went to the platform through which I send my newsletter, and they provide a sign-up form for people there. And you just copy and paste the HTML code which makes up that form, and then you just grab an HTML iframe from the add section from your sidebar, and then you just copy paste and you're done. You don't need to know any code, you literally just need to copy and paste and that's it, so don't worry about the actual coding stuff. And then it was time for my homepage because right now that is an empty page and it is the most important one. So I just grabbed a blog feed from the add section from the sidebar. Now a blog feed is just something that displays posts that you wrote, so you don't have to add, separate posts to this. And you can choose which posts it displays. Personally, I like to just display the most recent ones. And once again, you can customize what is shown and everything. And later on, we will add our own content to this. But as I said, for now, it's just structure. And then I added another element to the homepage, which was just a strip. Now, a strip is basically just a background color and nothing more. And yeah, it looks like a strip and that's it. Because I wanted one at the bottom to then have a little about text so that, when people visit my homepage, they're like, oh, maybe I like this blog, and they scroll down to figure out a little bit more about the page. So I just want people to have a little about text there so that they can figure out who the author is and, what is going on this website, basically. And you can, once again, customize it, so change the color, things like that. And yeah, this is what it looks like in the preview mode. So the preview mode is where you can see what your website would look like to someone visiting it. So you can just click through it, see if it's responsive, see if you like the design. But yeah, that's what I went with. Once you click videos, you get to my channel, check that all the links are working in the preview mode. That's sort of your review mode. And you can see whether the HTML turned out well, all of these things. So yeah, now it's time to give this some content. I decided to start out with the about page, so I just added an image of myself to it. You can easily just upload any media you have. And then I cropped it because it was a little too big for what I had in mind, so I went for more of a square size. And then I added some shapes because right now that page looks really boring, and I'm hoping that the shapes will make it more interesting, and that once I have an actual about text, I can just add it into the shapes and that it will work out. But yeah, once I saved my changes, I just moved on to the next page, and I pretty much did the same with all of them. So I just copied some content that I have on my real website and I put it on there. So for example, I took a lot of my old blog posts and just some pictures from them and just put them into the blog format, and you can see in preview mode how that turned out. Preview mode is a way of just seeing how your own work would actually look with the design, and you can see I also added some categories to the blog, so you can just add these whenever you write a blog post, and that gives your blog some more structure. So when someone reads your blog, for example, for book reviews or something, they can easily find all of the blog posts related to that and don't have to go through all of them. Now I still have this stripe at the bottom of the page. As I said, I do want to turn this into an about stripe. It's not supposed to be a replica of the about me page. It's just supposed to be a very short and concise version of that, just so that someone who first visits the website and is just on the homepage can figure out who the author is and, what is this blog, basically. So I just quickly added an about me text, but I'm still going to have to add an actual text, which has some substance regarding who I am and what this blog is. But yeah, I have yet to come up with that, so we're gonna get back to that one. Next, I went back up on the homepage and I changed the layout of the blog feed because I don't like it when there are just two posts. I think that is way too big and it just doesn't work for my content. So I wanted to have 3 in a row, but I hadn't uploaded enough posts to make that look good. So I basically went back to my actual blog and just copy and pasted some more pictures and text. And here's how the blog feed turned out once I had a few more posts on it.
I really hate the part down there with the stripe. It's ugly as heck. We're gonna have to change it. So here's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna add an about text because once I know how big that text is that I'm gonna add to that stripe, I'm gonna know what I can do with the stripe. So I thought I would steal the text from my blog and I realized no. I don't know why I ever thought this was publishable. I mean, just listen. My name is Elena Handtrick. Really, Elena. Wouldn't have guessed from the header of the page. I have another first name, Maria. Who cares?
So I tried to create a more interesting and engaging about me text. So I tried to come up with something. If you guys want to read the full text, I'm going to put it in the info box below. And then I just added some shapes to the strip because I think it looked a little boring. So I just tried the same approach as I have with the About Me page. And then I just added some extra text to that one. And then I also added a button to it. So I added a button because I want people to be linked to my real website, because I will be making this one public so you guys can click through it. But I do want people to know that there is another one out there, which is, my real website, in the sense of that it's always updated. So I just quickly added the link to my blog to it so that people can just click the item and then get to the real one. And once that was done, I just quickly had a look in the preview mode to make sure everything looks fine.
Why does this look so much better than the About page of my actual website? Like, I wasn't expecting this to turn into a roast of my real website, but it kind of did. Just put the two About pages side to side and I think you can tell which one is better, and unfortunately it's not the real one. But for now, I'm gonna get to adding some final things which you do need on your website, but you don't want them in your way while editing the website. So these are things like a social media button, a data privacy declaration, an imprint, stuff like that. Kind of boring, but also really important.
So I just grabbed a menu for my socials from the ad section, and then you just click on that item and you add your own links to make sure that all of these different images actually lead people to your real socials. And then next it was time for my data privacy declaration and imprint. For that, I just grabbed a text and then I just put it in the footer because I always want these things to be accessible for people. And then I just change the text to data privacy or imprint. And then I add a page for data privacy and imprint. So these pages are pages that you want to be hidden. You can change that setting in the menu, so people can't click on it in the menu above, but they can get to it through the footer later on. So just make sure they're hidden so they're not up there, filling up your menu. And then you highlight the text and you click on link, and you can link to a page from your website, and then you just link to that hidden page. So the page isn't hidden in the sense that no one can find it, it's just hidden in the sense that it's not shown on the menu. And there you go. You have created a link for it. Just copy and paste your data privacy declaration and you're done.
So yeah, now we have a website with all the essential elements, and which looks quite decent in my opinion. So the last thing we now have to do is we have to go into the mobile editor and we have to make sure that our website also looks good on a phone. So basically there, you're not really adding anything, you're just moving around the objects you already have to make sure that when someone is visiting your website from a phone, it still looks good and they can read all the content. So yeah, we're gonna do that, then we're gonna have a final look at the website, and if everything's great, then we're good to publish it.
To get to the mobile editor, just click the phone in the top bar of the desktop editor and it will take you there. When you're opening it up for the first time, it will ask you some very basic questions, like how you want things to look when people scroll down. And once you've answered these, you then get to the actual editor and you can change things, when they look bad in the mobile version. For example, here, the shapes look really terrible, so you can just hide them. Now, you're not making any changes to the desktop version, you're just hiding them for people on their phone. So basically, you just go through all the pages and make sure that they look decent for people visiting on their phone.
And yeah, that's it guys. We have a website. It's out there now. Now let's take a look at the time, because as I said, I was expecting this to take quite a bit of time. Oh wow, we were real fast. We only took 2 hours and 17 minutes. That is very, very quick for building a website. Wow. So yeah, if you guys want to click yourselves through this website to have a look at it, you are very welcome to do so. I'm going to link it in the info box below, and if you guys would like to create your own website, please use the link in the info box below to get to Wix, sign up, and you can start just building your own website. You don't have to pay anything up front, you can just start building it. I paid $0 for making this website. And that's what I really love about Wix, because it allows you to get started with, well, nothing. But when your website grows, you can add things to it. So for example, you can buy your own domain, so that's why my website doesn't have a Wix side thing in it, but instead it's just elenahandruck.com. So you can do all of that through Wix. So you don't have to go to different providers. You don't have to figure out how to connect these things. Wix does all of the work for you. Or if you want a professional email address, so for example, I have an email address, which is contact@elenahandruck.com. That is also done through Wix. So Wix really, helps you start when you're just, building a website for fun. And when it starts to grow and, you start doing things like sponsored content, then Wix also gives you the tools that you're going to need at that point. Like, for example, getting your own domain or getting a professional email address, things like that. I am so, so grateful to Wix for sponsoring this video. I cannot believe that the company which, started kind of my social media journey, because I would never started doing YouTube without having a blog and stuff. They would sponsor my video one day. That's crazy. This is kind of a really, really cool moment for me. So thank you so, so much to Wix for sponsoring this. And if I could inspire you guys to make a website, then please use the link in the info box below. And if you want to share your websites with me, the contact form of my blog is linked in the info box below, and I would love to see your creations. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much to Wix for sponsoring this video. You have no idea how happy you made me with doing this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Bye!